Hello everyone, welcome to NHS Induction Ceremony for 2019 and 2020 school year. The National Honor Society is an organization dedicated to recognizing and encouraging outstanding high school students in grade 11 and 12. Being a member of National Honor Society shows that you're among the best students in your class, not just in terms of academics, but also in terms of leadership, service, and character. So all of you have to be proud of your sons and daughters. Thank you.
Please bow your head for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for a wonderful day that you've provided for us. Thank you for letting us all be here and have supportive families. And thank you for everything. Amen.
Okay. Oh, hi guys. Welcome to the NHS Induction. And our first song is going to be Reckless Love. If you guys could please stand. Por favor. Thank you. All right.
Before I spoke a word, you were singing over me. You have been so, so good to me. Before I took a breath, you breathed your life in me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, yeah. When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so, so good to me. When I felt no worth, you paid it all for me. You have been so, so kind to me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God, yeah. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. There's no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. There's no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. no wall you won't kick down, law you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it, I don't deserve it, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God.
So we all know this song. It's Amazing Grace. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. All right, let's pray together. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day, and thank you for this program, the National Honor Society. Lord, help it go really well today, and we love you, Lord, so much. Amen. You may be seated.
Hi, good evening and welcome. Tonight, I have the distinct privilege and honor of introducing our speaker. Known to some as teacher, others as coach, and for three very special people, Dad, Dr. Sutton is a friend to all. He is an avid advocate for learning and a fierce champion of Adventist education. He attended Madison and Highland View Academy, then Southern Adventist Academy, graduating in 1996 with a bachelor's in physical education from La Sierra University. My father has taught me many important life lessons, such as, you are only as good as the company you keep, life is short, eat dessert first, you don't actually have to be in the National Honor Society to speak for it, and it is never too late to learn something new. His passion for education endures and continues. He successfully completed a master's in outdoor education and holds a doctorate in education. He currently serves as the principal of Madison Campus Elementary School, located near Nashville, Tennessee. I believe I speak for all of us today when I say I am extremely grateful for the hard work and life lessons from Dr. Sutton and appreciate his time and effort for him to be with us tonight.
Wow. I didn't know I was going to start almost tearing up. As you all are aware, because you're here tonight, you're very proud of your children. I'm very proud of mine as well. She did share some family secrets. We learned very early in their life that dessert, if it was left on the plate, Dad would take tax. Sometimes tax was all of it. Life's uncertain. Eat dessert first. She also is sharing family secrets that her father was not in the National Honor Society, and we're just glad that their mother is so much smarter than I am. So, now that I've gotten that out of the way, thank you, Jensen. You are the best daughter a father can have, and you are my favorite child, even more than Tucker and Hudson. Is that what you wanted me to say? Okay, got that out of the way as well. Thank you for inviting me back to GCA, Dr. Gerard. And Jensen, I appreciate you not reminding me in front of all these people that I left you to go and move away. Seriously, I am really excited to see all these amazing changes at GCA. Folks, you should be so proud of your school, and I can truly see the Lord's hand working here at GCA. I'm grateful to say that I have been part of that as a parent as well as a staff. God has blessed this school, and he is continuing to bless this school. So, parents, I've directed this to you. I am now going to turn and do what I do best, and that's talk to students because you all scare me. Have you ever heard the phrase, turtle on a fence post? When I looked it up, I found many different versions. Well, some of them were political, some of them were just downright mean. But I like the saying, turtle on a fence post, in reference to spiritual and life lessons. And I feel that it is relevant to you as a member of the National Honor Society. Picture with me. You're going to take a walk down to the river. Granted, you have gotten permission from the dean. You are not going in a mixed group, and you are not sneaking off because that never happens at GCA, right, Dr. Gerard? Absolutely. You're walking down the path, and you come to what can only be called a box turtle sitting on a fence post. The turtle is just laying there. Even if it brings its legs out, it cannot move because it cannot touch anything. So let me tell you why I like this story and I like that saying. As a kid, I loved to rescue box turtles and have them as a pet. I would grab a box because I knew that that's why they were called box turtles. I would put a towel in the box because it needed to be warm, not that it was because, it wasn't warm outside and it needed that. I would give it a bowl of water, and then I would give it a piece of iceberg lettuce because I just knew that that's what turtles ate. Now, my parents would only let me keep it for a couple of days as a pet, and I would have to let it go. But that is why I was interested when I first saw this. Think about this turtle on the fence post. You walk up and start to study the thing in front of you. And these questions should pop into your mind. What is the turtle doing? Why is the turtle on the fence post? And what I want to know, first of all, is how did the turtle get up on the fence post? So I grew up watching cartoons. And in the cartoons I watched, all kinds of things happen that defy the laws of nature. And so I started thinking, okay, so how could that turtle get up on that fence post? Well, the first thing I think is it puts a hard hat on and starts climbing it like they do when they climb the telephone poles to work on the lines. That's a possibility. The second way it could, when I start thinking of it, is I think of it as an old man, as Jensen would say, me, sitting on the fence post, legs crossed with a newspaper like I used to see my grandfather. Just there with glasses in there. But then my favorite is there's a turtle on top of the fence post with an army hat on it, ever so often looking over, yelling at a bunch of little turtles with army hats on it, binoculars, saying, "Here comes the enemy, we have to take it." So there's different ways that I think that could happen, but none of them are real. But in reality, that turtle has no reason to be on that fence post or want to be on that fence post. So we ask the question, why is the turtle on the fence post? Let's put this into perspective for you. Imagine laying on your stomach where your hands and feet can't touch anything. That's all you're doing. and that's all you can do other than sit and stare out straight ahead of you and say, why am I here? Maybe you like the fact that you can't do anything or go anywhere. Maybe this allows you to see things that you wouldn't see as a turtle on the ground. But being on the fence post is not always the hard times as well. There's also times that Joseph, sat and was well done. Oh, sorry, I got a little lost. Let's catch back up. Maybe this allows you things to see. Maybe you don't want to be on this post, but someone found you in the road and felt that this was the safest place for you to be. When I look at the story of Joseph, I see many times that he was put on a fence post. Maybe it was when he was thrown into a pit by his brothers. Maybe it was when they sold him as a slave. What about when he was put into jail for something that he didn't do? Or that people promised to remember him and didn't. But being on the fence post is not always about the hard times. There was also times that Joseph sat on the fence post in good times. He had a family, he had children, he was rich, he was ruler. Think about other Bible characters that spent the time on the fence post. David, Esther, Abraham. Maybe it seems to me that God knows when people need to be on the fence post even when they don't know it themselves. Okay, so as you're sitting here thinking, I wonder if he's done yet. Is it over? So what does it mean to you becoming a National Honor Society member? As a member of a group the website actually states that there are over 100 members in this group since 1921. It asks its members to focus on the following 4 pillars: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. These are the pillars that I believe Jesus lived when he was here on earth. Just as Joseph, there were multiple times he found himself on a fence post, you might find it the same. Maybe becoming a member of the National Honor Society is a time that you are being placed on a fence post. I don't know. Whether you want to be on the fence post or not, it doesn't matter as much as this. No matter why you're on the fence post, it is important to remember that just like the turtle on the fence post, you are there because someone put you there. Maybe it doesn't make sense to you why they put you there. I could go on and on about the times that I spent on a fence post and didn't understand why. But what I have found is later down the road, most of the time, I see why God allowed me to spend that time on the fence post. And an interesting thing that I found is the more I looked to why I sat on the fence post, the easier it became to be content on the fence post. I trust that God and his plan, and I trust that he is in charge. My hope and prayer is that you take the opportunity as a member of the National Honor Society to present and honor God through your scholarship, service, leadership, and character. The 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. I pray that when you are that turtle sitting on the fence post, God will help you understand that he is in charge and that you are in that place for a reason. Thank you.
We will now have the candle lighting ceremony, which is kind of the tradition of the National Honor Society, where we have members and inductees read about the 4 pillars of the NHS and light a candle in symbolism of each one. So our first one. Olivia Fisher and Zach Negron will light a candle for character.
Okay, the first one is character, and character is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality, our goodness. It is that without which no one can respect oneself, nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character that guides one through life, and once developed, grows steadily within. Character is achieved and not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be in reality what we wish to appear to others to be rather than to seem, by demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship. We may hope to provide by example that we value character.
April Espinosa and Taylor Brasfield will light a candle for service.
The second one is service. Service is the act of helping others and fulfilling their needs. Service can be performed in the routine of the day's work where many opportunities arise to help others both at school and in community. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or public recognition is the quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation for a better tomorrow.
Grace Ann Hawthorne and Florence Phillips will light a candle symbolizing scholarship.
The third one is scholarship. Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element of life which leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired in only one way, through diligence and effort. Learning flourishes the lamp by which we read the path, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship.
Benjamin Ziesmer and Megan Alford will light the candle symbolizing leadership.
Leadership should exert a wholesome influence on the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, the real leader strives to train and aid others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are ineffectual without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a meaningful and substantive charge to each of our members.
I want to add my congratulations to the new members of the National Honor Society. I am thrilled that you have achieved this accomplishment. These young people sitting on our platform today are already examples of achievement. They have high GPAs, they have been involved in service, and have demonstrated quality of character. They have demonstrated leadership. And at their young years, they will have many, many more years ahead to demonstrate even more what they're able to do with the gifts that God has given them. And I want to add my support and my second to what Dr. Sutton said about life in general. You won't get wherever it is you go by yourself. People will help. God will help. And life is indeed full of surprises. Things do not always work out the way we think. And as you sit here today, you undoubtedly think a bit about your future. This is a certificate, a milestone. You carry this membership with you throughout your life. You will go on to college and to do all kinds of things. And right now in your life, you think you have a general idea of how things might work out. But life will indeed be full of surprises. And you will find yourself on fence posts. And you will wonder how you got there. And maybe more important, you'll wonder how to get off. And even in the end, you may not have complete control over what happens in your life, and that's okay. I was recently reading about an individual that I don't know much about. His name was Thomas Hardy. Mr. Hardy was a novelist and a poet. He was born in 1840 in rural Stinsford, England. I think I've got that right. And Mr. Hardy was a bright young man. He went on to university in London and studied to become an architect. He actually received awards as an architect, but he never made his name or his mark in the world as an architect, though he planned to be an architect, and he was indeed an architect, and even a good one. He actually became noteworthy as a poet and as an author, as a novelist. He was twice nominated for a Nobel Prize in literature. So it didn't work out the way Mr. Hardy thought, but it worked out very well indeed. And life was full of surprises for him. He never really particularly cared for living in London. He was never comfortable. He liked his little hometown way outside of London. And as he was sick and aging, he and his family agreed that when he passed away, he would be buried in the little cemetery by the little church there in the town of Stinsford. But there was an executor of his estate, and that man felt differently, because Mr. Hardy was an accomplished author, internationally known. And there was only one place for a man of that kind of accomplishment to be buried, and that was in what is called Poets' Corner of Westminster Abbey in London. And so the executor of the estate, against Mr. Hardy's wishes, said he will be buried there. The family protested. None of this was working out the way Mr. Hardy wanted. I don't think he particularly cared at that point. So what to do? Well, it was decided that there would be a compromise. And the compromise was that Mr. Hardy's body would be taken from his home and he would be buried with great ceremony in Westminster Abbey. But a physician was called to his home, and his heart was removed, and his heart would be buried in the small cemetery near the Stinsford Church. And as it is told, the physician came to the home that day, performed the somewhat gruesome task of removing his heart, and then was with the group that escorted Mr. Hardy's body from the home, leaving the heart there. Shortly thereafter, the mortuary embalmer from the funeral parlor came to get the heart and prepare it for burial in the Stinsford Church. On the kitchen table, there was a towel that had wrapped the heart. The towel was opened, the heart was gone, and the family cat was sitting in the corner, licking his paws with a very full stomach. No one ever saw the cat again after that day, and the box that was taken to the Stinsford Chapel and to the cemetery was slightly larger than people would have anticipated it for just a heart. Life will turn out a bit differently than you plan, in life and in death. And only God will see you through to the end. Trust in Him, and all of the bumps and the turns along the way will be part of His will. So there is a pledge that we need to read together. This will make it official. And so we are going to read this. This is not a test. If you stumble on this, you're still in. But I do need you to stand. And we will read this together. So this is probably the most challenging part, other than lighting the candles. This is the most challenging part of this ceremony. So let's see if we can read this together. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unrehearsed, which may be very evident soon. I pledge myself to uphold the high purpose of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school, and I will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. I believe in scholarship as a means of achievement. I believe in leadership as the guide to progress. I believe in service as the object and end of living. I believe in character as the foundation of life. To the upholding of these ideals, I pledge myself, mind, and spirit. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, Dr. Briggs will read the names of the individuals receiving their certificate. I will present it here at the middle, and we're going to make a picture.
Taylor Ann Brosfield. Joshua Davis. Natalie D. Drea. April Johanna Espinosa. Nathan S. Griswold. Grace Ann Hawthorne. Rebecca James. Cameron Morrison. Angelina Nesmith. Megan Kaylee Olfert. Chidiebere Onije. Sajid Park. Sharice Piotrowski. Florence Gabriella Phillips. Emma Toll. Eve Toll. Benjamin Ziesmer.
That's it. Yeah.
A couple of things to mention here. First, immediately after this ceremony, we will have refreshments in the fellowship hall, so we invite you to join us there. But, however, it is important to note that these members of the National Honor Society will be up front following, and we're going to take a group picture here. So, following at the end of this program, that's what will be happening, okay? And Becky has our benediction.
Please bow your heads for prayer. Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us all here to celebrate our achievements. And please bless those who traveled and help them to have safe travels back home to wherever home is. Please bless those of us who have class tomorrow. Help us to get a good night's rest and wake up in the morning refreshed for a day of learning. Please bless the refreshments that we're having afterwards. And please help us all to enjoy the rest of our day. In Jesus' name, amen.